The Hindu editorial dictation heading is Tusks and Tensions. Kerala changes to Wildlife Act will devolve national safeguards. Get ready? 5 seconds. Start. Kerala's decision to amend the Wildlife Protection Act 1972 marks a turning point in the federal discourse on environmental government. The Wildlife Protection Kerala Amendment Bill 2025 seeks to arm the state with powers thus far reserved for the union government. While the ambition is rooted in a painful lived crisis, the attempt to sidestep center state dissonance exposes tensions between ecological prudence and federal autonomy. The bill asserts that the state may decide when a Schedule 2 animal has become vermin and thus liable to lose protections under that schedule for specific areas and periods. It also vests a chief wildlife garden with the power to order any animal that has severely injured a person to be killed, tranquillified, captured, or translocated. There have been violent confrontations with wild boars in the state's dense mosaic of farms, settlements, and forests. Assembly resolutions and ministerial trips to New Delhi to have the wild boar declared as vermin under the Central Act have proved fruitless. Read against the ongoing expansion of human settlements into erstwhile buffer zones. The change risks normalizing lethal outcomes produced by human advance rather than by animal behavior. This said, the center's power to declare vermin has too often been exercised as a veto without transparent criteria or timely engagement with states that face distinct ecologies and pressures. Kerala's frustration is thus a federal critic. Shifting the same blunt power to the state does not by itself cure the voice of opacity, however. A jurisprudence that ties need to circumstances must interrogate how the circumstance was produced and whether non-lethal options were credibly exhausted. Section 62 of the General Act exists to keep indiscriminate culling from eroding conservation baselines. Wildlife lies in the concurrent list and any state law repugnant to the Central Act requires presidential assent. If that test can be framed as center versus state, it is also about whether Kerala's recourse recreates the national safeguards in devolved form. A defensible settlement would preserve the floors, no dilution of baseline protections, and international commitments, building state level ceilings in the form of clearer, faster procedures, devolving non lethal toolkits and accountable data driven thresholds, and turning incentives to reward coexistence. Until then, declaring the World War to the vermin or downgrading the bonnet making from Schedule 1 to Schedule 2 of the Central Act. While buying political time may risk depending a cycle in which governance failure budgets lethal shortcuts. If the urgency is real, so too is the obligation to ensure that speed does not substitute reason and federal devolution does not become federal abdication. Stop.